welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Sean. I'm back for another video, and welcome back to another letter that was sent to me from one of you. In case you're brand new to my channel, you may not know it, but I'm a life and dating coach and the author of 3 books. The first one's called The Dating Game: How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code: The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck: How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com. I'll be sure to link all 3 of my books below so you guys can check them out. And if you want to work with me as your personal life and dating coach, or if you'd like to submit a letter for a chance to possibly have it featured in an upcoming video, send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN @gmail.com. Now, I upload luxury unboxings. I also do fashion videos, commentary, love and relationship advice videos like this one. So if you like variety, you'll definitely enjoy my channel. So go ahead and hit that red subscribe button, and while you're at it, tap that little bell. That way you'll be notified every single time I upload a video. All right, so now without any further ado, let's go get him. Hi, Coach Sean. I met my husband in the UK in 2011, and he won me over with his charm. It was a casual relationship at first, but I quickly started to fall for him. Initially, when we first met, he was very upfront and told me that his visa had expired and he had not returned to Jamaica because his grandmother who had raised him had died and he had no other family there. After many failed applications, he said he needed to go back to Jamaica to regularize his immigration issue, and we agreed to end the relationship for good. Now, that was in 2013. After a year of very little communication, he sent me a heartfelt message saying how much he missed me and still prayed that one day we would be together. I didn't want a long-distance relationship, but our connection became so strong and we bonded deeper than ever. Another year passed and he said he wanted to take our relationship further and he couldn't imagine spending the rest of his life with anyone else. Of course, I was very hesitant, so we planned to meet at first in America. He proved himself to be the man that I wanted. He was loving and caring. He treated me like a queen. I visited him another time, and after a lot of prayer, decided that I did see a future with him. Now, I am no fool, and I questioned if he wanted all of this just to get back in the UK, but he waited on me since uni, when I knew that he had access to other women who would gladly marry him for convenience in a second. We got married in 2016 and started the immigration battle to get him back to the UK. It took 3 years in total, several appeals, solicitor fees, trips back and forth to try and maintain our marriage. Emotionally, it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do, and it became even harder when I fell pregnant and I had to have our baby without him by my side. Financially, it was tough too. I had to fund the whole immigration battle, all my flights back and forth to Jamaica, and support him because he had no job for a long time. I put my life on hold and funneled all my energy into our new little family without a second thought because I meant my vows and I would stick by him through thick and thin. Understandably, my husband was in a very low place all alone, but this made him easily frustrated, angry, and upset. I was always the one he would take it out on. Each and every time I would absorb all of his negativity. I would forgive him, he would apologize, and he would just say it's all because of this difficult situation. We hit our lowest point when I was pregnant with our first child. He asked me to sell his phone, so I had to wipe it clean to check all the messages. I found sexy reels and illicit messages and heartfelt conversations with several other women. I confronted him and really laid into him, but he explained to me that he was just lonely and that it meant nothing. Swore blind that he had not had any physical contact with anyone, and he said he was sorry that he disrespected me, and he begged me for forgiveness. It took a long time to accept his apology, but eventually I decided our marriage was worth more than just ending it, so especially with a new life on the way. When he arrived back in the UK, we had a blissful month enjoying our family of 3 in person. It was everything I dreamed it would be. I enjoyed spending time together, enjoyed it so much that I fell pregnant again almost immediately with our second child. And here's where things started to unravel. He was not ready for another child, neither was I, but he said I had planned it and it was just making things harder for him because he hadn't found work yet. He apologized once he realized how selfish it was for him to say that, and he still felt that way. At 4 months pregnant, I had a miscarriage. Turns out I was supposed to be having twins. He didn't even bat an eye when I told him, and he made no attempts to comfort me. I took myself to the hospital the next day for an emergency scan. Throughout the whole pregnancy, he was always out out without telling me where he was, even though we were supposed to be in lockdown for a pandemic and we barely spoke. He barely looked after me when I needed it. I had a tough pregnancy and basically had to face it all alone. He became very protective of his phone and I became suspicious. I managed to get away from him one day and saw loads of inappropriate messages with other women, one even telling another girl he wishes she was pregnant instead of me. That way he would have been a lot happier. I confronted him and again, he said he was just chatting and that it didn't mean anything. He was not very apologetic, so I kicked him out. After a week, he came back to apologize and again, I held an L and I decided I couldn't break up our marriage just as we were about to have our second child. Now, it still goes on from there. This is a very, very long letter. I'm gonna have to summarize it from here. So then she ends up finding out yet again that he was still communicating with other women a week shy of their 5th year wedding anniversary. So the writer of this letter is a Christian and she's really not sure if she should continue trying to fight for her marriage or if she just cut her losses and just leave the situation. Now, there's a lot that I want to talk about. If there's one thing I've ever told you guys, it's this. A man should never feel like there's nothing that he could do that would get rid of you. He needs to know that this love has conditions, okay? You can't just mistreat me in all these kinds of ways and I just stay. Now, this is infidelity. This is adultery. The sexual text that he was sending to the different women, just because he told you that he's never taken it beyond that, he's never gotten physical with that, the man didn't confess to talking to the women, so why would he confess to sleeping with the women? It definitely sounds like he came into this trying to take advantage of the fact that you wanted the family. When you saw the messages that he sent to another woman saying that I wish it was you that was pregnant and not her, I'd be a lot happier. Like, how you overlook all of this? I don't care what he tells you to your face. What has he said behind your back? He's telling other women, I'd rather not be with her. When are you going to hear what he's saying? If you're waiting on him to say that to your face, that may never happen. How many times can you forgive a man for the same thing? This is the 3rd time that you found him, exchanging messages with other women. A mistake made repeatedly is a choice. This man has chosen to step out. I think this man used you for citizenship, but you were so honored that somebody like him would choose you. Maybe he's attractive. Maybe he's sexy. I don't know what it is, but this man literally has brought nothing to the table, has been nothing but cruel and mean to you, and you're still here. And you said in your letter the first time he was super sorry about it, he was apologetic, and he asked for forgiveness, he begged for forgiveness, and you forgave him, and you got back together. And the second time you said in your own words, he wasn't very sorry, because he knew you would take him back. You took him back the first time, you took him back the second time. Now that you found out he's cheated on you again a week before your 5th year wedding anniversary, you're thinking about taking him back again. His behavior to me sounds like a man who is tired of pretending. That's why he's getting lazier and lazier with trying to hide it from you. And then he feels like she's gonna take me back anyway, so why should I even hide it? So when you catch him, he's like you said, he's not even very sorry. Don't let this man continue to weaponize your faith and use it against you. Use it to manipulate you. Use it to get 2nd and 3rd and 5th chances out of you. That's exactly what he's doing. He knew what he was getting when he got with you. You've been taking care of this man in every possible way. You have gotten nothing back in return, and you're still trying to make it work. You are exhausting yourself trying to be good enough for a man who's not good enough for you. He keeps coming in and out, haven't talked to you for a year, and then popped up talking about you the love of his life. Bro, where you been? Where have you been? He knew he was getting a good girl who wanted a family, and he sold you on a dream. I'm sorry to be that blunt, but I have to be. Because you're thinking that this is a lot more romantic than it really is. There's nothing romantic about a man who wouldn't even comfort you when you lost his twins. You found sexually explicit messages on his phone several times. No, he did not confess to sleeping with these women. He didn't confess to talking to them either. So it's not like he's an honest man. Like, he's never gonna tell you. You said the man disappeared in the middle of a pandemic, not telling you where he was going. This same man who's got women all in his DMs. So how much of a stretch do you think it would be that he met one of these women in person and then came back home and crawled back into your bed? This man can't be trusted. And he's told you that with his actions by cheating on you not once, not twice, but 3 times. Do I believe he's cheated on you physically with somebody else? Yes, I do. Otherwise, why disappear in the middle of a pandemic by yourself, not telling me where you're going? And then you said throughout the letter, he's been telling other women about your situation, telling one woman that he wishes that it was her that was pregnant. How could that be? Don't let him continue to weaponize the fact that you're a Christian and you're a good girl and you want a happy family. You've barely even had it. He was only decent for a month. That's as long as he could possibly pretend. That probably stretched him to his limits. You've let this man affect your self-esteem because you want him and he doesn't want you back in the same way, and you're taking it personal. What's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough? It's not about you. My advice to you is to pray and ask God to give you the strength to do whatever it is that you know that you need to do, whatever is best for you and your children. When you realize the energy that you were putting into him wasn't being reciprocated, that's when you should have cut it off. That's not when you say, well, I can do more. I can do more. That's not your job. It's not your job to constantly try to prove to a man all that you can do, all that you can give. The relationship has been one-sided from the very beginning. You were doing all the giving and he was doing all the taking. And as I told you guys before, takers never get tired of taking. They will bleed you dry. They are leeches. They will hold on to you for as much as they can get, and they'll only let go when you have no more to give, or when they have no use for you, or when they found a woman who can give them even more. That might be what he's looking for in these other women. He's gotten used to this lifestyle of kicking his feet up and having a woman worry about everything. He likes it like this. He's probably looking for his next person. That's why he's on the phone talking to all these women, telling them how special they are. He has broken you down and you don't even see it. He's broken your spirit by continuously cheating on you with other women. And you keep taking them back thinking it's going to be different. You need to realize that you deserve better than this, that you deserve better than him. Somebody who has never fully supported you, that's never had your back, that has done nothing but use you for your time and your money and your body, had you paying for flights and paying for his immigration stuff, had you paying for lawyers while he's out here with no job. After all you've done for him, he can't even be faithful. See, that's what I really want you to get. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do your letter. It doesn't matter how many things you do for a man. I feel like you were trying to do everything and be everything to him and for him, and he didn't appreciate it. He still cheated. You cannot do enough for a man to keep him from cheating. I don't care if you pay his way through school. I don't care if you buy him a car. I don't care if you, like you did, not let him work. It doesn't matter how much you do. If a man wants to cheat, he'll see all that you've done and still cheat. You have evidence of his infidelity. You are not trapped in this marriage because even God gave you a way out. You can't let this man throw your faith in your face because even God said you don't have to stay with a cheater. So God signed your permission slip long time ago. You do not have to stay and let this man continue to take all these hits on your self-esteem by other women being all over the place. You can't even trust him for a minute. In every action that he's taken, it's clear that he has chosen himself and he has put himself first. At some point, you have to do the same for yourself and for your children.
Sean from the future here. So as I'm sitting here editing the footage and rewatching it, there's a couple of things that stand out to me that I neglected to mention while I was actually sitting down to film. So I'm going to interject those 2 points here. The first of which is that I don't believe that he just now started cheating. The writer says that they were long distance the first 3 years of their marriage. I think that 3-year time period he was cheating, that he was living a single man life. I don't think that he's just now started cheating. She just now started catching him. And the only reason why she can catch him is because she's under the same roof. It sounds to me like he's a ladies' man and he always has been. Don't forget the writer said in her letter that when she was in college, there were a lot of women who would have been more than happy to marry him for a green card. But she's neglecting to mention that she is one of them. Like, she knows that he has women all over the place. You never marry a man who is never content with one woman. There is a line in the writer's letter where she says that she goes to visit him in America for the second time. And she says after a lot of prayer, she decides that he's a man that she could spend the rest of her life with. And the word that keeps sticking in my mind is the word decides. She decided about him. She made the decision. So what was the point in praying if you had already made your decision? Did you ask God about this man, or did you tell God about this man? You might be in the situation that you're in right now despite you praying because you already had made up your mind and you were going to God almost as a formality. The prayer was performative. Now, the purpose of me mentioning this is not to beat up on the writer. I don't want to do that in any way. I feel like she's had it hard enough. But these letters are meant to be a cautionary tale and also to help the writer and anybody else who watches. See, God knows the end from the beginning. So God knew this was how this was going to turn out, and He was waiting on her to ask. But as she said in her letter, she decided. So there was nothing that God could do. God cannot affect your free will. So, to the writer of this letter, I definitely want in the future that you pray and that you wait and that you ask God for confirmation. And if you still have doubts that it's God, ask for another confirmation and another, and however many it takes for you to see, okay, this is of God. When you decide after you've already told God what you're going to do, you leave no room for His will and no room for His protection. I hope that you're not in this situation and you're thinking, why hast thou forsaken me? Or why has God left this relationship? Be honest and be real with yourself. Did you ever really invite Him in? And if you can admit that you haven't, just make sure that you do in the future. Ask God for forgiveness for making all of these decisions without Him, and be different moving forward. Don't continue to beat yourself up about it. What's done is done. It's all about what you do from here on out. Like I said, for the good of you and for your children.
All right, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to thumbs up if you did. Now, if you want to hear more of my thoughts and opinions on life and love, consider purchasing one of my books. The first one's called The Dating Game, How to Find Yourself While Looking for Mr. Right. My second book, Breaking the Man Code, The Key to Unlocking His Heart. And my third book, Getting Unstuck, How to Create the Life You've Always Wanted to Live. They're all available on Amazon, Kindle, BarnesandNoble.com. And if you want to work with me as your personal life and dating coach, or if you'd like to submit a letter for a chance to possibly have it featured in an upcoming video, send me an email to itscoachshawn@gmail.com. That's itscoachshawn, SHAWN @gmail.com. Now, if you like luxury unboxings, love and dating, relationship advice videos like this one, fashion videos, a little bit of everything, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and also be sure to tap that little bell that way be notified every time I upload a video like this one. And if you like this video, you'll love my last one. I'll be sure to link it for you right here. Be sure to subscribe right here. Till next time, later divas and dudes. Deuces, honey.